Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Monday edition of Morning Scone, presented by Brock at the Baton Rouge Orthopedy Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com, Restored Motions, RestoredMotions.com, and ProCharge EV, ProChargeEV.com. Coming to you from beautiful Husser, Louisiana, at Covey Rise. First things first, please do me a quick solid and just if watching live, just give me a little thumbs up on audio. Just let me make sure our audio is good there. Um, I have my relevator mic, so you should have good audio, but I just want to make sure that y'all can hear me. Um, Waiting for a few little confirmations there, and we'll get going. Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. All right. Um, LSU baseball gets the win, 18-10. Got plenty to talk about offensively and on the mound. And the Lady Tigers go. I guess they're not the Lady Tigers anymore. They're just the Tigers. But the Tigers beat the Lady Vols 75-60. Um, a nice win for Kim Mulkey's squad as they keep rolling and move to 11-3 in the conference, 24-4 overall, and getting closer to the end of this regular season now and toward tournament play. 2 games left at Georgia and then home against Kentucky for the baseball Tigers. They've got a week in Houston, so they'll play Rice on Wednesday at Rice in Houston, and then of course the Minute Maid Classic, or I guess the Astros Foundation Classic now at Minute Maid is where they'll play this weekend. So, all right, we'll see some good mornings here. Quick takeaway from baseball. I thought Jay Johnson after the game on Saturday. Of course, they lost Friday, and then Saturday the offense just struggled to get going again, and he kind of reamed his team for about 20 minutes on Saturday after the game. After every game, they go down into the outfield, and he hands the lineup card to whoever that the outstanding performer was of the day, and or the clutch moment, whatever he calls it, and at their team meeting. Well, he sent the pitchers away, and then and just talked to the hitters for about 20 minutes. And my understanding was Jay was not super pleased about the approach at the plate. And it makes sense. Like you see, Jay Johnson's teams are offensively centered, right? And so when you see a game that's like 2 hours long and Paul Skeens isn't pitching, you know that the approach at the plate wasn't very good. You were swinging it at first, you were swinging early in counts, a lot of pop flies, not pressuring the defense, and that's just not how this team's going to roll. That's not how a Jay Johnson offense is ever going to roll. So big part of Sunday was, hey, seeing the approach at the plate, um, and being more patient. And you saw that from jump. Like in the first inning, LSU put up a 5 spot. Braswell came up with the big hit, which was the bases clearing triple. So, look, I know we're going to have the Milam Braswell conversation. Like, and Milam was really good yesterday as well. He was 3 for 4, had a couple of RBI. Like you put up 18 runs on 17 hits. A lot of people had good offensive days, but Milam had a really good day. Braswell was 2 for 3 with the bases clearing triple. So, both those guys played really well yesterday. But the good thing for LSU is they keep pushing each other. So the offense got rolling early and never really stopped. The I think for I think uh, for the pitching staff, yeah, I know you're going to look at 10 runs on 8 hits, and if you didn't watch the game, that probably seems concerning. I'm not as concerned. Here's why. First of all, you had a huge lead, but and so sometimes when you have a lead like that, the objective is, hey, just go throw the ball over the plate, let them hit it to our defense. More often than not, they're going to hit it to one of your guys, and you're going to get out of it. Just don't go walk a bunch of people. And that was maybe the most encouraging thing, was that by and large, LSU avoided the walks. Javen Coleman went 4 innings and allowed 2 runs on 2 hits. He struck out 6. It's not that dissimilar from what you saw. Hurts went 4 1/3, struck out 8. But Hurd, the walks and the wild pitch are what got Hurd in trouble. Coleman went 4 innings, struck out 6, gave up 2 runs. If Javen Coleman is your or whoever your Sunday guy is, gives you 4 innings of 2-run baseball, you're gonna win a lot of Sunday games because by the time you get to that part of your rotation, that part of the weekend, that part of your staff, a lot of teams are gonna be depleted. You tend to see a lot of offense on Sundays for that reason, and LSU's offense is really good. So if Coleman I thought was perfectly fine. The problem was you get to the 4th and LSU's up, I'm sorry, you get to the 5th and LSU's up 13-2, and they bring in Micah Bucknam, and Bucknam was really good on Thursday. We talked about it, like, all the guys that threw last weekend in 4 games used 18 pitchers. Well, Bucknam didn't pitch. So he pitched on Thursday, the first game of this series, and was awesome. So naturally, he got the first crack, first out of the bullpen on Sunday, and he couldn't get anybody out. He faced 4 hitters. He gave up 2 hits and walked 2. And then uh, they bring in Christian Little. He faces 2 hitters and gives up 2 hits. And then they brought in Fidel Ulloa to put out the fire, which he did. But the crazy thing about that 5th inning is Stony Brook, their coach, Coach Sink, Matt Sink, who's been there forever, been there like 30 years. Matt Sink replaced like his entire starting lineup. If you weren't watching or didn't listen to the game or see, it was wild. Like the only regular player that he kept in the game was his shortstop. Everybody else, so like in that inning, that half inning when they're batting, every hitter except the shortstop was a pinch hitter. He replaced his entire lineup. I mean, they were getting killed, and it was like, all right, I'll show you. It wasn't like, let's just give guys ABs. It was like, I'm my starters aren't into it. I'm giving other guys a shot. And they had like 6 straight hits. It was crazy. Um, but so yes, stinks that Bucknam and Little couldn't get it done, but they brought in Ulloa and he gave up a hit to the first guy he faced. Excuse me, but then he went like strikeout, pop out, fly out, and got right out of it. So for me, and then the only other guy that got in any trouble was Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson was feast or fam, and it was like paying the black strikeout, or he hit a guy with a 1-2 pitch. Like, I mean, you're 1-2. Like you got him on their heels. Don't hit the guy. So anyway, but Cam Johnson, you could tell it's like he's still finding it, but the stuff is electric. But anyway, so the point is, other LSU's pitchers were fine. It was that 5th inning where Bucknam and Little couldn't get anybody out, and so you gave up a 6 spot. So other than that, other LSU's pitchers were fine. I thought Ulloa was awesome. He continues to show he's the guy who, um, uh, he's the guy who, if you need a stopper, he's a bases loaded, nobody out. Who you going to give the ball to go get you out of it? Ulloa. Who's going to be unmoved and is going to throw strikes and attack hitters and challenge the zone? Um, That's Ulloa. So he's emerged and and gave you 2 innings. And then, yeah, I mean, then Cam Johnson gave up the 2 runs, but Helmer's Primo, Moffitt, Bronzini finished it, and you were fine. So um, I thought it was good all around, a really good day. So, all right, let's say some good mornings here. Again, if you're just joining at Covey Rise here in Husser, Louisiana, got the Guarantee Media uh, leadership retreat and meetings that we do annually. We were here last year, did the show. If you were with us, did the show outside last year, but because I have StreamYard and the mic, I wanted to be inside near uh, the Wi-Fi. So hopefully we have a good connection. So this is my bedroom. I have a bed right here, but this is like a bed and then bunks. So I'm in the bed right there, and then there's bunks. So I'm sitting on the lower bunk. Anyway, I would go in the kitchen, but I think some people might still be sleeping, so I don't want to bother them. Okay. Let's say some good mornings here. Greg Carter, good morning. Kelly Gross, Brian Wynn, Von Bluesman, Wendell Norman, good morning. JB Johnson, morning, Matt. LSU looked impressive in the 4th to close the game at Tennessee, with 7 teams ranked ahead of them losing last week. Not sure how we don't crack the top 10. So talking about the LSU women's basketball team, yeah, man, they were up 12 at half, and then Tennessee made a little push, outscored them 19-10 in the 3rd, and then LSU just blitzed them in the 4th quarter, which was great to see, especially considering the question we've had about this LSU women's team is the depth. So if you don't have depth, you would think late in games, that's where you would be challenged and struggle, but that was not the case yesterday, so it was great to see, especially on the road to win by 15. James McKinney, what's up, Randall Offred? You concerned about Tommy White? So Randall, no, Tommy White was 2 for 4 yesterday. He did the get the gat, by the way. A lot of y'all pointed that out yesterday about how, or Friday, after LSU lost to Stony Brook, and how Stony Brook did get the gat on the bus. And I told you I would be sort of flattered uh, as a homage to the 2019 LSU football champs. But clearly, the LSU base Tigers saw it, and we're not called Tommy White after he got his knock in the first inning. Did the get the gat at the Stony Brook dugout. I guess it was in the second. LSU put up a 5 spot in the first, 5 spot in the second. Bear Jones, when he homered, he did get the gat coming down the third baseline toward home. So they were all very much aware, very much aware. So, I mean, Stony Brook celebrating didn't bother me at all. I mean, it was a big win for them. Like, celebrate. You want to do a homage to 2019 LSU? Cool. But yeah, the guys clearly noticed. Anyway, but no, Tommy White. Remember, Tommy White's still dealing with a shoulder injury. He's separated his shoulder at the beginning of last year, like literally the first game of the season. Kind of played through it throughout the years, got healthy, and you had it worked on this off season, and like he's still recovering from that. Like I don't know if Jay's talking about that or wants that up, but like he's still coming around. So the fact that Tommy White's out there playing third and batting, in the top, 3 of your lineup every day, he's still coming off the shoulder injury. So no, I'm not worried about Tommy White at all. Just keep that in the back of your mind. Like, yes, he's still coming off the shoulder injury. Kelly Gross, good morning. Oh, sorry, those are all the thumbs up from the audio. Taylor Hudson, Larry Garner, Bubba Smith, Damon Gilmore, Jay Benoit, Oren Connor, good morning. Christian, good morning. Okay. Real quick. Jay Benoit talked about Jacoby Matthews hitting the Porter. So, a lot of you asked about that yesterday, and so I did go check the rules. So, the SEC did implement a rule whereby if you hit the portal after Feb 1, then you can't transfer to an SEC school. You can't transfer to an SEC school and be eligible that year. So what I found was, though, it sounds like there's a push to change that rule to include the spring because of look what happened at Bama, right? So Nick leaves. It's sort of after that portal window, after that date, and so are those guys stuck? They can't transfer within the league. And so the push was to say move that to the spring portal window. And what's most interesting, is that there was a feeling that could be challenged with litigation. And so I guess my point is, if Jacoby Matthews, let's say he wanted to transfer to LSU, but the SEC rule prevented that, it sure sounds like he could challenge that legally and probably win, because we're seeing every student athlete that challenges their conference or the NCAA in court wins, because the way the college athletics has been set up for 100 years is fundamentally illegal in the eyes of the law. So technically, based on the current rule, Jacoby Matthews could transfer to LSU but would not be eligible this fall. However, there's a feeling he could challenge it and in court and win. Brant Roban, good morning. If Braswell's bat continues to heat up, what a luxury for JJ to have that wall on defense at shortstop at second with him and Milam, also with his bat. The challenge that Jay's going to have right now, and you're right, it's a good problem to have, is, let's say, and like, I mean, I agree. I love Stephen Milam. And after the first game of the season, I think we sat here and said, like, it's going to be tough to keep that guy out of the lineup, because he's got, the way I described it he's like a little ball of bleep you energy. It's still a small sample size. You're 8 games into the season, and Jay's figured everything out. I'm going to go check this. I'll have some time later today. I don't think they have used the same lineup yet this year. No, they've had lineups where they're the same players, but I mean in the same lineup and order, batting order. I don't think that he's had the same lineup and batting order in a game yet this year. So it's very clear that Jay is still just figuring out what he has. And what I think is going to be really interesting is like if you're talking about freshmen, like the best athlete on the team is Jake Brown. So if you get to a point where you decide like I have to have Jake Brown in the lineup every day, what's a fly? Well, then he's got to play right. And if he plays right, then you're deciding, okay, do I put Pearson or Milam at second, or do I put Braswell or Milam at short? So yes, it's a great luxury to have, but you can only put 9 guys on the field at once. Uh, so he's going to have to figure that out for certain. But again, the larger the sample size grows, the more that tends to reveal itself. So, let's see. Tim Gautreau, good morning. Dale Broussard, should Reese and Haley Van Lith return for next season? So Dale, like with any draft forever, I'm always going to say that everybody should make their own decision. I would argue that if you're Haley Van Lith and Angel Reese, you have more, and they're not going to, by the way, but you have more earning potential in NIL at LSU and more notoriety than you have in the WNBA. Women's college basketball has more exposure and brand awareness than the WNBA. That's a fact. Even talking to a sports loving audience, my guess is most of you couldn't even tell me who won the WNBA championship last year. You know who won the national championship. It's just, I mean, if you're just thinking about where's my max earning potential, that's it. But like we talk about in every sport, everybody considers different things when they make a decision. Not everybody wants to be in school. You know, maybe they want to be able to change their you know, where they live, where they go, what their annual calendar looks like, social calendar. I mean, there's a lot of things. Maybe there's opportunities that when you're in school you can't do. So from a basketball and earning potential, probably should stay. But what's to say Angel Reese couldn't go on and do more endorsement deals after she's done at LSU? I'm just saying her notoriety would be higher at LSU than it would in the WNBA. Joel Ensminger, are we having to rely on Cagenomics again this weekend? I know not of what you speak. Matt Plavidal, new space for the show. Missed the beginning of the show. We're here at Covey Rise in Hustler, Louisiana. I'm here for Guarantee Leadership Retreat. So we got here yesterday, had dinner, meetings all day today, dinner tonight, meetings tomorrow morning, and then we head back. So Muso will be hosting AFR the next 2 days while I'm out. Casey Smith, 18 cha-chings. E-Rock was just one off. Yes, so Erica did say that LSU would score 17 cha-chings yesterday. Eddie Hayes, how can we watch the game in Texas? I need to check on the Rice game. I'm not sure about that one, but the Astros Classic this weekend, it's going to be on MLB TV. So go to MLB.com. You'll see the links. Brant Roban, cool to see the Lady Tigers live up here in Knoxville. Haley had herself a day, 25 points. A little spitfire she is. She was silencing the crowd. The cool thing about that too, she wears the braids and the pigtails like Kim did back in the day. So, yeah, man, really nice win for LSU to go on the road there at Tennessee to win by 15. Again, like they're playing what feels like their best right now, which is they've won. After the back-to-back losses to South Carolina, Mississippi State, they beat Florida, Vandy, Bama, A&M, Auburn, Tennessee. That's 6 straight. Now you're at Georgia, home against Kentucky. You should finish on an 8-game winning streak. See if you can go into the SEC tournament, get hot, and maybe try to win it. So, JB Johnson, if Haley Van Lith plays like she did yesterday, moving forward, good luck trying to beat them. Hard to keep everyone from getting there. You never know who's going to go off. She's looking more comfortable. Yeah, I mean, listen, this has been a process this year because for Haley, it's been learning how to play point guard, right? She's been a 2 guard her whole career, and now she comes here and LSU doesn't have a point guard after Alexis Morris graduated, And so she had to learn. She's learning that position. She's not a point guard, but she's learning that position. So respect to her, a girl who was, averaged 20 a game last year at Louisville, comes to LSU and switches positions in her last year. I mean, that's incredible. Jesse Post, good morning. Greg Carter, I know the Pels not really your thing, but I think it's time for the team to start looking at a new coach. Willie Green's done it for growth. No way the Pels lose to the Bulls like that. So it was here last night, so I did not get to watch. And by the way, the Pels are my thing. I watch a lot more. I'll tell you this candidly. I watch way more NBA than I do college basketball. I don't love the college basketball product. I love LSU, but I'm not going to sit down and just watch Purdue against Iowa. I'm not going to watch UCLA, Arizona State. I'll watch the LSU games. I'll watch SEC games. But, I mean, I'll watch Bucks Warriors on Saturday night. Trivia Carter, good morning. Bailey C, good morning. Ole Miss people are getting unbearable. Getting unbearable? Johnny Troxler, good morning. Hey, by the way, Bailey C, ain't nobody won a championship in February, ever. Daniel Kirkmath's first pitch banquet was lacking this year. Needs a real MC. My vote is for Scone. Who MC'd it? I don't know. I'd be glad to do it if they ever asked. Let's see. Tarn 35. Ulloa shaping up to be the fireman, closer, shut down any guy. He was awesome and has been. He's killer handlebar mustache too. But he's a guy that is unafraid and unmoved by whatever circumstance they throw him in. Paul Herbert, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. Rick Manuel, good morning. Matt Plavidal, Matt, did you bunk with Gordy? No, but we are on the same cabin. So Brian Rodriguez from GatorWorks and his wife, and then Gordy and Ashley Rush are in here as well. So not in this room. They have Gordy and Ashley got the master. I'm over here in this little corner by myself. Let's see. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it, man. Y'all please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscone page, share the post. Shout out to our LinkedIn audience as well. Rocky, good morning. Quentin Brakebill, good morning. David Bass, good morning. I think we should bench Tommy if it's one more double play. I'm telling y'all, he still dealing with shoulder injury. Still 2 for 4 yesterday. I know you're joking, but Ben, Tommy White should work on his speed. Always look like, brother, listen. The last person on this team you have to worry about is Tommy White. If you want to ask questions about the team and all stuff, fine. Please don't ask me about Tommy White. Like, Tommy White is going to be in the lineup every day at third base, and he's going to hit 20 bombs, and he's going to be one of the top run producers in the country, and he's going to be great. So please don't worry about Tommy White. Bart St. Germain, Charles Como, who dat from Orchard Park. The thing about Tommy White that's most like, so you got to find protection for him in the lineup somewhere. Like, Hayden Stravinsky had a bad weekend. After it was the SEC Player of the Week last weekend, had a bad weekend this weekend. Like, you have to find people that can give Tommy White some protection in the lineup. So for like Bear Jones is a great candidate for that, but he's got to cut down the swing and miss. And by the way, he's done that in large part this year. JB, thanks for the update on Jacoby. Have you heard any buzz of him wanting to come to LSU? Yes. What I was told over the weekend was LSU's the leader. Texas, Ohio State, Georgia were the other 3 he was considering. Michael Nooner. Matt picked up a bottle of Rouse's small batch pick of 2022 Pinhook. Unfamiliar with Pinhook or the Rouse's store picks, any experience with the blend. I've not had their store pick of Pinhook, and was it a Pinhook rye bourbon? Which was it? Pinhook does a good job. Pinhook is they're a bourbon distillery out of Kentucky. All of their releases are named after horses. So you'll see on the label, it'll say, like bourbon lifestyle or bourbon and rye. And like, those are all like named after horses. And they've done really, really well. I mean, I think Pinhook is fantastic. Guy Brooks, morning, Matt. You'll have to book a session with Crystal after sleeping in a bunk bed. Now, I'm not in a bunk bed. Again, I'm in there's a queen bed right there that I'm sleeping in. But you're right. When I'm not in my bed, I do get thrown off sometimes. Irfan Sayad, good morning. All right, I got a couple of minutes left. JB, think they both benefit from staying one more year. I'm trying to go quickly. Jason H, good morning. Thanks for joining me on my 5-mile bike ride to start my day off. There you go, dude. Go get it this morning, man. Antron, good morning. Love the studio. Go Tigers. Thank you, Antron. Have a great day, man. Um, Jason, how many pair of shoes did you bring with you? 3. I wore one yesterday. I got a pair for today and a pair for tomorrow. So 3 different pair of sneakers. All right, last one, Robert Potts. Morning, Matt. This one's off topic. Did you see the video of the Cam Newton fight? Dude still has it. I did not. Cam Newton, like a sanctioned fight? Well, who did he? I'm looking for it. I just Googled it. I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Let's see. What in the world? Like, who fought Cam Newton? Like, why would you go fight a 6'5" giant? Oh my god. That's wild. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's on social media. Okay, I gotta go. Y'all have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. Muso's in for me for AFR today and tomorrow. YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the Matt Moscona page, share the post. Have an awesome day. We'll see you tomorrow morning for Morning Scone. Peace.